I have been sitting here thinking about this team, and honestly, the Seahawks roster is shifting again as we signed rookie receiver Kyre Duplessis to replace the recently waived Kenny McIntosh. This move is fascinating because we are dealing with a banged-up wideout room and a surprising update regarding McIntosh passing his physical before his release. There are two angles worth breaking down here: the specific facts behind this transaction and what this shuffle means for our depth chart. This situation is evolving fast, so smash the like button and sound off in the comments. Let us dive in. The Seattle Seahawks have officially filled the roster spot vacated by Kenny McIntosh, signing rookie wide receiver Kyre Duplessis following a competitive tryout session. Duplessis joins our team after an offseason stint with the Detroit Lions and a productive final collegiate campaign at the University of Delaware in 2025, where he recorded 60 receptions for 824 yards and 5 touchdowns. Before his time in Delaware, he spent 2020 through 2024 at Coastal Carolina, tallying 23 catches for 348 yards. According to Ari Horton of Seahawks.com, the newcomer brings added value as a return specialist, highlighted by a punt return for a touchdown and a notable one-handed catch against Delaware State. And honestly, this addition arrives at a critical moment for our receiver depth as Jake Bobo nurses an undisclosed leg injury, and Irv Charles remains sidelined with a knock picked up Sunday. The release of McIntosh left some fans confused, but the transaction wire clarifies that he passed his physical on July 27th, meaning he was not waived off the physically unable to perform list as initially feared, but rather let go while fully cleared. This technicality leaves many of us wondering if the team simply lost confidence in his recovery timeline, or if they are aggressively reshuffling the bottom of the roster to find immediate healthy contributors. Does this specific personnel move signal that the coaching staff anticipates a longer recovery period for our current injured players? Or is this merely a trial run for an undrafted talent looking to prove himself in training camp? We are a brand new channel pushing toward our first 1,000 subscribers. And every single person who joins this community helps us keep going. The most surprising detail regarding Kenny McIntosh is that his departure from the Seattle Seahawks was not forced by a lingering injury, but rather by his successful recovery. According to the official NFL transaction wire, McIntosh passed a physical on July 27th, meaning he was not waived off the physically unable to perform list and could have been cleared to practice had the team desired. This transition feels sudden because he spent last year recovering from an ACL tear, yet the front office decided to move on immediately upon his health clearance. Here's the thing nobody wants to say: when a player returns to full health only to be released, it usually signals that the coaching staff has identified a specific need for depth that the current roster simply cannot provide. With Jake Bobo sidelined by a leg injury and Irv Charles missing time after a knock sustained on Sunday, the team brought in Kyre Duplessis to stabilize the wide receiver room. Duplessis brings intriguing versatility as a former Delaware standout who hauled in 60 passes for 824 yards and 5 touchdowns during the 2025 season. He also offers a spark on special teams, having returned a punt for a touchdown during his time there. While the front office is clearly prioritizing immediate availability to manage these training camp bumps and bruises, this move reflects a calculated gamble to keep practice intensity high despite the thin rotation. We have seen similar roster churn before, where undrafted talent steps up to fill a void. And now the organization is betting that Duplessis can translate that one-handed highlight reel talent into consistent production, while the veterans work toward a full recovery. With that factual background covered, let us pivot to what this roster adjustment truly signals for our team moving forward. And that changes everything regarding how we must view our current wide receiver room. The stakes are clear because we are dealing with immediate attrition during the most critical portion of training camp. With Jake Bobo sidelined by a leg injury and Irv Charles also missing time, our depth at the position has thinned considerably. Signing Kyre Duplessis, who posted 824 yards and 5 touchdowns at Delaware in 2025, provides a necessary body to maintain competitive practice reps. His experience returning punts, including 1 touchdown, offers Mike McDonald an extra chess piece to evaluate while our regulars recover. While this move does not headline a major salary cap shift, it highlights the necessity of keeping reliable options in the pipeline to avoid a total stall in our offensive rhythm. Looking ahead toward our divisional matchups, maintaining a healthy rotation is vital to ensuring we do not fall behind in the standings early in the year. If we cannot field consistent targets, our ability to control the clock against our division rivals will evaporate quickly. Every practice rep Duplessis takes represents a chance to prove he belongs, and we need every healthy hand on deck to maximize our playoff potential. The release of Kenny McIntosh after his recovery from an ACL tear serves as a firm reminder that the league moves fast, and our front office is prioritizing current availability above all else. We must hope these injury concerns are merely temporary setbacks so we can return to full strength before the intensity of the regular season arrives. The addition of Kyre Duplessis brings a fresh sense of urgency to our receiving core at a time when we truly need reliable hands on the field. The upside here is clear because Duplessis offers legitimate versatility with his background in returning kicks and punts, including that touchdown run at Delaware. Given that Jake Bobo is currently nursing an undisclosed leg injury and Irv Charles has missed recent practices due to a knock, having a healthy body who caught 60 passes for 824 yards in 2025 provides essential insurance for our depth chart. What nobody is talking about is how this move replaces the vacancy left by Kenny McIntosh, who was surprisingly released after passing his physical. The risk, however, is that Duplessis is essentially a project player moving up from the college level after a very brief stint with the Detroit Lions. Relying on an undrafted rookie when veteran depth is tested is a gamble that does not always pay off in a fast-paced league. While Ari Horton from Seahawks.com highlights that impressive one-handed catch against Delaware State, we have to remember he is competing against other hungry tryouts like the group listed in the Wednesday transaction wire. Here's where I land on this. While the front office clearly liked his athleticism, I think the panic surrounding our current receiver injuries is being slightly overstated by the media. It is standard practice to bring in new faces during camp. And while he brings energy, expecting an immediate impact from a player who has spent limited time in professional systems is likely asking a bit too much at this stage. When you synthesize the departure of Kenny McIntosh with the arrival of Kyre Duplessis, a clear picture emerges regarding the front office philosophy for the upcoming campaign. This is where it gets real, as the organization is prioritizing immediate depth and availability over sentimental attachments to players who are struggling to return to full health. As Seattle Seahawks fans, we should feel optimistic about this move because it indicates a front office that is proactively managing the roster during training camp rather than waiting for injury gaps to linger. With Jake Bobo and Irv Charles currently dealing with minor setbacks, adding a playmaker like Duplessis, who posted 824 yards and 5 touchdowns at the University of Delaware in 2025, provides necessary insurance. His versatility as a kick and punt returner offers the coaching staff extra flexibility, while the clarification that McIntosh was released fully healthy proves the team is simply looking for the best possible competition on the field right now. It is a business-like approach that defines how this franchise intends to operate under the current regime over the next few seasons. Focusing on players who can contribute today is exactly what we need to build sustained success. Given his standout highlight reel and recent production at Delaware, do you believe Kyre Duplessis has the potential to earn a spot on the final 53-man roster? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. We are still pushing toward our first 1,000 subscribers, and every one of you helps us get there. Go Hawks! I'll see you in the next one.